Hi artists, how are you today? I'm Heather Duncan, and today we are going to do these awesome, ta-da, Kandinsky concentric circles. Yes, Kandinsky concentric circles. Say that 3 times fast. It's actually kind of hard. So, all right, stick with me and I will show you how to do this. Okay, artists, let's go over our supplies for today. We're going to be using the medium watercolor. And so you're going to need a watercolor palette, you're going to need a watercolor brush, you're going to need some watercolor paper, you're going to need a clean water well, some masking tape, and then we're also going to be using a second medium. We're going to be using oil pastels. Yours might look different than mine, but they're the same thing. So, all right, I think that's about it. Let me tell you the steps we're going to take to do our project. Okay, first, we're going to divide our paper into 6 squares. We're going to be doing that with this white oil pastel. It's super easy, I promise. Then, we're going to be using our oil pastels to draw all of our concentric circles. And after that, we're going to be watercoloring inside each of our squares. It's super easy. I promise you can do it. Okay, let's jump in. We're going to start by taping down our paper. The reason that we tape down our paper is because we are going to be using we're going to be watercoloring most of our paper. So we want to make sure our paper is stuck to our table, because if not, our paper will curl up on us, and we do not want it to curl up on us. I am taping my paper down horizontally, so that means it's long ways. If you want to do yours where it's tall, that's fine. That's called vertical. I'm doing mine horizontally today. Okay, we're going to start by taking our white oil pastel. It's very important that you use white for this, okay? Now, you're not going to be able to see it whenever I draw it on my paper, so I want you to follow along really carefully with your eyes, okay? We're going to start by doing a horizontal line down the middle, and then I like to put my arm on the paper, and this is how I'm going to break my paper into thirds. I'm going to draw a line there, I'm going to put my arm on the paper, and draw my line there, and that should be a little bit square. If it's not perfect, that's okay. Okay, so I have 6 squares. Now I'm going to start with the centers of my circles. And actually, I might, instead of doing all of them, I might do one at a time. So I like to do a center that's about the size of a dime. And then I do one ring, and I go around the ring 2 times, okay, to make it pretty good and thick. Another ring and another ring. Now, I'm not being super particular on my colors. I'm just doing what feels natural. And I like to do it. This is how the artist was, I don't actually know how to pronounce his first name. I think it's Wasili, or I'm not sure, but it's Kandinsky is his last name, and he is famous for his concentric circles, and he does all of his circles different colors in different color combinations. And when we have a circle inside a circle inside a circle, that is called a concentric circle. Okay, maybe when you were little you had cups that kind of nested in each other, like a small cup and then another, like a medium and a large cup. It's kind of what these are like. Or maybe if you've ever cooked in the kitchen, you had measuring cups that had like a 1/4 cup, a 1/3 cup, a 1/2 cup. They nest in each other too, kind of creating a concentric circle when you look down on it. So I'm just creating my circles here kind of haphazardly, meaning no rhyme or reason, Just whatever feels natural. I love, love, love the way that oil pastel feels whenever I put it on the paper. It goes on so smooth. Feels very nice. You know, I haven't used yellow yet. I think I'm going to use some yellow. Yellow. I haven't used pink either. I think I'm going to be using some pink here. Pink. And did you notice how my circle's a little oblong? It's not perfect. You know what? That's okay too. Kandinsky's circles were not perfect. They're kind of known for their messy quality. And I bet you if you look up Kandinsky circles on the computer or a phone, something with internet, you will say, oh, I've seen those before. Okay, all of my circles are drawn. Now it is time for me to add my watercolor. We are going to be using our wet on dry technique, which means we are getting our brush wet and then we are going to paint inside of our circles on dry paper. Okay, now I like to paint each of my circles a different color. So I'm just coming inside of all of these circles and I'm painting a different color. You will notice that my watercolor does not mix with my oil pastel. And that is because the oil repels the water. It's called a resist. Isn't that interesting? And I have to make sure whenever I'm changing colors of water, I have to really, actually like this, I'm gonna clean my brush off really good. I have to really make sure that I clean my brush off really well in between each color because my colors can get really muddy. And I wanna make sure they stay clean and clear. And I'm just going to paint all the way to that white line, but I am not painting over that white line. I'm just painting to the white line. Awesome. Okay, now I'm going to come to my second one down here. Purple is my favorite color. Do you have a favorite color? You know, some people don't have a specific favorite color. They like all the colors. I think that's fine too. There we go. Paint some of this yellow. Make sure, like on colors like yellow, I want to really make sure my brush is good and clean. I don't want my yellow to be muddy. That's what I call it when my color gets a little dirty. I call it muddy. That's nice. It's a nice, clean, pretty yellow. And if you need to take more time on your paper, on your painting, and you feel like mine is going too quickly, you can always pause this video. Okay. Awesome. While my brush has yellow on it, I'm going to come over here with some yellow too. Now, I've also seen some people do this and paint the whole square one color. And you know what? That looks good too. So don't feel like you have to do exactly what I'm doing. You do what feels right for you, okay? These are inspiration of Mr. Kandinsky, and then yours can look totally different than mine. I tend to lean towards really bright, bold colors, but other people, sometimes they like really calm, soothing colors. Okay, start up here on this one. Always like how purple and orange, or purple and yellow go together. I thought I was going to do green, but I think I'm going to do purple for this one. Oh yes. Purple is a cool color. Cool colors are colors that remind you of the water, the ocean. Blues, greens, purples. Ah, guys, it's just looking so good. I bet yours looks really good at home too. I also like to do this project with hearts, where we draw lots of hearts inside of each other, concentric hearts. I've also done this before with squares. You can do this same lesson with all different types of shapes. And I have done this with kindergartners all the way up to 5th graders. And I'm sure even adults would enjoy it. This is just something that is a timeless lesson that lots of people enjoy doing. Maybe you have someone at home with you that is older and is joining you for art today. Cool. Ooh, I like that one. I like that bright green. I think I have an idea of what I want to do for this next one. We haven't done a blue. I think we're going to do a blue square for this one. Clean my brush up really good because I want to get some yellow. Yellow is one of those colors you don't want to cross-contaminate. Okay, now I'm going to use my blue. I'm going to do my last one. Yay! So good. So awesome. Okay. Make sure you come all the way up to that white line. Now, we're going to let this dry for just a second. And then I'm going to reveal what it's going to look like when I take off the tape. I promise it's so satisfying to take that tape off. It's going to look so good. Okay, let yours dry just a minute, and then we'll take off the tape together. Okay, my composition is dry. Now it's time for me to take this tape off. Are you ready? Now you have to be pretty careful with the tape. You don't want to just rip it off, because I have ripped my paper before doing that, and it's not fun. You work so hard on your piece, and then you rip it. So be very careful. You might even want to have someone help you. There we go. Oh my goodness, it looks so good. Are you ready for the big reveal? Look at it. My Kandinsky concentric circles. Okay, can you say it 5 times fast? Kandinsky concentric circles. Kandinsky concentric circles. Ugh, I don't know if I can. I keep getting tongue-tied. Okay, artists, look at these beautiful circles we made, inspired by a wonderful artist. Today we used watercolor, and we used the medium oil pastels to create this wonderful concentric circle resist. We talked about a wet on dry technique that we used as we applied our watercolor today. And you know what? We just did a pretty good job, didn't we? I bet yours look awesome. All right, artists, thank you so much for joining me right here today. I appreciate it, and I cannot wait to join you next time.